Hi there. I am Dr. L. Carol Scott, a trauma-informed developmental psychologist who brings you the SAS, self-aware success strategies that are your birthright. This video is about what it means to have toxic people in your life and what to do about it if you do. Now, way back in 2002, a book called Toxic Parents identified several specific types of parenting behaviors that should be considered toxic. And before you could say psychobabble 3 times fast, toxic has become the latest pop psychology diagnosis for all the people who annoy us. And in fact, today, 20 years after that book on toxic parents came out, a quick online search for the characteristics of a toxic person yields this very broad definition: anyone whose behavior adds negativity and upset to your life. Well, that could literally be anyone and everyone, and cutting them out of our lives has become the thing to do. So spend a few minutes with me now getting clear about what toxic behavior really looks like and what are just some other kinds of annoying behavior. More importantly, learn how to identify and cope with truly toxic tactics that may be used by people in your circle of connection. So in this next 10 minutes or so, we're going to examine the original categories of toxic behavior, get specific about examples, and give you a few great tools for coping with truly toxic people, no matter what their role is in your life. So first of all, let me just say what is not toxic. People who disagree with you and refuse to change their mind to agree with you, that's not toxic behavior. People telling you that they think you're wrong, that's not toxic behavior. Like, I think you're misinformed, or I think you have wrong information. That's not toxic. Refusing to do what you want them to do, that's not toxic. Being confidently assertive, having strong opinions and speaking about them, that's not toxic. Laughing too loud, telling racist or sexist jokes, getting drunk, those are all problems, but they're not toxic behavior. So people who are toxic engage in very specific kinds of behaviors in 5 categories. First, they dismiss, belittle, criticize, tease, make fun of your choices, your behavior, your appearance, your emotions. They just are constantly judging you, criticizing and judging, negatively judging what you're doing. And a lot of times it's framed as if it's a joke and it's teasing. So that's one way to get away with being this kind of toxic. Oh, your cooking is terrible. God, you always pack so much for just one overnight? Why are you standing like that? Ew, don't you ever clean your stove? What a pig you are. Are you wearing that? Oh, I was just teasing. So dismissing your thoughts, your ideas, your opinions, belittling your behavior, making you seem small and like you're insignificant, teasing you, making fun of any aspect of who you are. All of that is toxic. Physically harming you or verbally harming you. Pinching, hitting, kicking, scratching, biting, and the verbal equivalents thereof. Or they threaten to harm you. They scare you. They bully you. They threaten you. And they say things like, I'm warning you, cut it out. Or, I'm bigger than you are, Or, don't make me hurt you. Sometimes it's that overt. So physical harm, emotional harm from verbal attack, and threat of harm. All of that is toxic. The third category is they keep you focused on their problems, their victimhood. They're the one who's got the hard life, and they ignore or dismiss your concern. Oh, you think that's bad? Hey, listen to what happened to me today. Or, oh, I'd never get upset by that if it was me. I can't believe that you have a problem with that. Why? What about what Jerry did to me? I mean, that's way worse. Or, oh, come on, you can't seriously be hurt by that. You've done worse to me. So always turning it around to keep them focused, keep you focused on their problems, their victimhood. The fourth category is getting you involved in activities that you have to keep secret from other people. Hey, let's hide mom's wallet and watch her go nuts. You can't tell anyone you saw me come in this late. Hey, what the boss doesn't know won't hurt her. I can count on you, right? So that's the fourth category of toxic behavior. And the fifth is treating you as if you're incompetent. You're not capable of managing even the simplest things in your life. Here, let me do that for you, and taking something out of your hand even. Do you need help with that? And it's something that most children can accomplish. Or just hovering and advising all the time about how to manage what you're doing. Treating you like you're incompetent and you can't do things on your own. So some of the toxic people in your life, you really just cannot stop seeing them. If it's not a coworker or a family member, a close neighbor, or an unavoidable member of your spiritual community, staying at a distance may be the simplest solution when it's not somebody like that. Some people are just harder to divorce from your life. You may choose to keep seeing them for a wide variety of issues. So for now, if you have to be present with a toxic person sometimes, you need some tips to cope with those 5 categories of toxicity. So for all of them, your first tip is from the self-aware success strategy called independence. But it's also general advice. Increase your self-awareness. Increase your awareness of who you are. Be more confident of yourself. The self-aware success strategies all begin with self-awareness, and for a very good reason. Because you need to be aware of who you are. You need to know yourself really confidently so that other people telling you that you're less than who you are doesn't have the same effect on you. Center yourself in the awareness of who you are. Take a few grounding breaths right before you get out of the car and go into the restaurant, or right before you show up at their house. So focus on yourself, focus on your self-awareness, ground yourself in the reality of who you are as a person. And if you feel good about affirmations and positive mantras, try one of these on for size. I am whole, complete, and perfect, just as I am. Or, here's one of my favorites. I am loving, lovable, and beloved. The second tip, after your general self-awareness and sense of yourself, is also from the success strategy of independence, and it also relies on breath, but it's something that you do in the moment of the toxic behavior occurring. So when you are with the toxic one and you have become the target of the toxicity, when that person dismisses your comment as irrelevant, laughs at your outfit, or talks over you and your story that you're telling about a problem at work, first, you notice it. So you may first just notice that it's happening neutrally, or you may first notice your emotional reaction, your physicality, your body's physical response that is emotional. You might feel yourself trembling, you might feel your breath get short, you might feel your heart pounding, you might feel your stomach turn over. Each of us has different physical realities around how we feel. So notice how you first notice it and be aware that it's happening, and then take a mental step back from the scene. See if you can separate yourself from the person feeling the emotional response of being attacked. Feel the toxic effect on you, but also take a step back and observe the toxic effect on you. Does that make sense? Be both the observer and yourself. And then take a long breath in through your nose and blow it out slowly and quietly through your mouth, like this. All of this can happen in a matter of seconds without anyone else in the room, even the toxic person, being aware of what's going on. A response would be something like, well, actually, I'm sure of my source. I'm confident in what I read. What I said is a quote from a Wall Street Journal article. You have information. Let's say that the person is making fun of your outfit, making fun of your clothes. You could say, well, I'm glad to bring some laughter into your life. Or, I'm glad to feel so comfortable. This is one of my most comfortable outfits. Or you can make a joke yourself. I know, it's the latest fashion from Paris. Let's say what's happened is this person has talked over you. You were telling about a problem that you were having at work, and they just started talking and telling a story about their own problem. You can simply keep talking. Just keep telling your story. Don't raise your voice. Just keep talking and don't stop. Look around at all the other people, and if the person doesn't stop talking, look them straight in the eye and say, I wasn't finished talking about what happened at work. Let me finish. The path between reacting emotionally and responding with intention is often exactly as wide as a single breath. Sometimes you might need two. Depends on how bad the attack is. But try taking a breath when what you want to do is run away or pounce in response, in reaction. Okay, your third tip is for a practice of the success strategy of vision. This is a practice that we do to enhance the success strategy of vision. And it takes some time to develop and use artfully, to use it strategically. Remember, these are strategies for interacting with people. You can, as you get better at this pulling yourself back emotionally and mentally, you can start asking the question that points out the toxic behavior pattern. So the questions might be things like, why are you criticizing my posture? The trick is you have to ask it from complete emotional detachment. It can't be a gotcha. You can't be attacking back. You have to be neutral, and you have to be sort of sincerely, authentically asking a question. So why are you criticizing my posture? What's your purpose in making fun of my choice of car to buy? Why are you doing that? Did you just say you would hurt me if I won't do that? Why would I want to keep a secret from her? I don't want to do that. Why are you trying to help me with this simple task? Because here's the thing that I really want you to know. People who have this kind of behavior, it's not like some game plan that they came up with for how to be mean to people. This practice really only works if the questions are asked dispassionately with that sort of Buddhist-like detachment of the outcome. You're not trying to fix the person, you're trying to change their behavior. You're asking a strategic question to interrupt the flow. Why are you doing this? So your best tools come from the self-aware success strategies of independence and vision when you're dealing with toxic people. They are to 1, ramp up your self-awareness centered on your strengths and competence. Know who you are as your best self before you face the toxicity. Number 2, teach yourself to pause and respond rather than knee-jerk react. And 3, ask neutral, innocent-sounding questions that spotlight the toxic behavior from a place of emotional detachment. I hope you'll share your experiences with trying these tips and tools and strategies on toxic people in your life. You can do it in the comments section, or hey, attend the next Sassy Sunday Salon on the second Sunday of any month. You can come talk about it in a free 90-minute example of my coaching. You and a small group of people together on Zoom from anywhere you live. So come join us and talk about your experiences with these tools and strategies and toxic people. And hey, in the meantime, let's all get out there and be more sassy